ingrained images in people's minds about the concept of me. It's not even like think of me as a person. They think of me as a concept or a specific moment in time. There's only one person alive that has the answers to so many people's questions about me. And that's I can feel no sense of measure, no illusions as we take refuge. What's up? I'm watching Charlie Sheen. Have y'all seen it? Have you watched Charlie Sheen? I'm good, James. Have you seen Charlie Sheen documentary on Netflix? I was getting my lashes done and I couldn't see it because I'm just not watching it because I was getting my lashes done and I couldn't see it because I had my eyes closed trying to get my damn lashes done. But I kept hearing what the fuck he was saying. And I asked her, I'm like, girl, what the fuck you got on this TV? She was like, oh, this that Charlie Sheen documentary. I'm like, I didn't know that motherfucker was doing all that shit. When your life starts like that, basically doesn't start. I just kept hearing crazy shit, crazy prostitution and drugs and all type of shit. I'm like, what the fuck? Now I'm sitting here like, I need to do something. Let me watch this and see what's going on. What up? He wild. Hey, he more than wild. That motherfucker out of control. I didn't even know he had HIV. When they said that, I'm like, I didn't know he had HIV. 3, and then Dad, he decided early on to sell the furniture. You know, and he be talking about his mama and daddy. I'm watching this Charlie Sheen documentary, whatever it is, while I'm doing my daughter hair, but he be blaming his mama and daddy and all of that. He said something when he was a baby that he almost died.
I met him before he
was
Charlie Sheen. I met him when he was Carlos Estevez.
But they brought him back to life by spanking him on the ass. And he said something, when you was born that way, what could you expect?
Beanbags? There was nothing, extravagant about it.
I'm like, why are you gonna bring it all the way back to your first breath? Damn. Do the shit gotta go that far back? What the fucking shit you was doing? You gotta bring it all the way back to your first breath on earth. That's why I did all that crack. God damn. That shit just pissed me off when I heard that. I was just laying there getting my lashes done and I heard him say, when I was a baby, I almost died. They spanked me on my ass. That's why I did all that crack. Oh, your ass crazy as hell, Charlie. Now, Charlie, you know better. You a grown ass man now. You gonna bring it all the way back to your first day on earth is the reason why you was fucking. Was a baby and they spanked you on your ass. That ain't the reason you bought that pussy. I'm so sick of this shit already. I can't even get all the way into it. I can't even get all the way in it. All right. Here's how much time we have. Here's our cast. Here's the plot. So-and-so has done something to this person, and so this guy has to seek revenge. And he on here smiling and shit, talking about he been sober for 7 years. I've been sober for 7 years, but by the time this come out, I might relapse. Looking ass! How you already find your next hit when this come out that you gonna relapse.
Everything outside of that was pretty uncommon. We had a rivalry that went on for a long time.
Then he gonna say something. Oh, my mama and daddy wanted me to stop smoking crack, but I told them I wasn't gonna do it. But you blame them for the reason you started smoking the crack.
Fuck you.
But you don't want them to be the reason you stopped smoking the crack.
That was our canvas.
Lord, be a fence around me. Jesus. That's all I kept saying the whole time I was getting my lashes done watching this shit was Jesus. I had to apologize. I'm like, girl, I'm so sorry. But the things that he's saying, I can't even see it. But the things he's saying is crazy.
It's just one of those life-changing experiences, you know?
My dad always made that very clear that he wanted us all to be with him in his work. He didn't want the family dynamic to suffer just because he had this job somewhere
Just out of
else.
control. Let me know if y'all seen this Charlie
Incredibly lucky
Sheen
to be able to go along with.
stuff. I was a big fan of what's it called? 2.5 Men. Yeah, I was a big fan of 2.5 Men. That other old shit, I don't know what that is. Dukes of Hazzard. Was he a Dukes of
Most
Hazzard?
influential and important filmmaker. The man responsible.
That other old stuff that he was playing in, I don't know nothing about that. All I know is 2.5 Men.
Your dad was struggling with substances, right?
And
Yeah.
Did you know that?
I sensed it. There is a moment in the Philippines that is as crystal clear as though it happened yesterday. And we were outdoors at lunch early at one of the tables, you know. I remember
then he had HIV, knew he had HIV, and was still buying pussy.
He wasn't there.
How you still buying prostitutes knowing you got HIV?
And he turned to me with that knife between his teeth.
One of the prostitutes went snooping in his cabinet and found the HIV medication and took pictures of
Then
it.
I come to find out that was in the middle of the opening sequence.
So she blackmailed him for $500,000 and got $500,000 because he didn't want her to snitch that he had HIV. He paid her $500,000 not to say nothing. I said I would have did the same thing. I'm over here selling you this cat. I'm over here selling you this cat and you got HIV and ain't tell nobody. Oh, I'm finna blackmail you. You got to pay me $500,000.
What the fuck is that?
Cause I ain't know that I was selling you this cat.
And Marty died.
And you got these pill bottles in your cabinet. Cause you got HIV. Oh, I'm telling.
When we came back,
He paid her off so she could shut up.
saw him for the first time. He was taking baby steps on a cane. And he was crying.
It ain't about money. It's more important than health.
White.
Come on now, think about it. If somebody gave you HIV or if somebody put you at risk for HIV, where's the justice in that? $500,000. Seems like justice to me. Where's the fucking justice? That motherfucker need to go to jail. But I'll settle this out of court right now for $500,000. Shit, who? That's the point. That's the principality. That's the principle of it. Period. We gonna settle this out of court right the fuck now for $500,000.
Age-old moment of a father-son playing catch. But it's hard not to.
And his lawyers was like, "Oh yeah, pay her, because if you don't pay her and she come out, you gonna be paying all them other hoes that you was fucking on too. So if you don't want to pay 15 of them, just pay off one of them so she can shut up."
I think it's hard for sons.
And he paid her.
You know, share with their fathers what's truly in their heart.
I still would have outed him right after you get done paying me.
as the love letter to him.
Nah, ain't no court case on that. That's closed and done with.
They fully support me.
You know, you gotta watch it. That's closed and done with. That's over with. She tried to blackmail him, and she got it. She got the money. He paid her off, and she gone. She got her money and left. Ain't no court case. This Charlie Sheen story. He telling it.
I love them both in this, absolutely. But I completely understand why they chose not to.
Got me smoking now.
I ain't know he was acting when he was a kid, though. See, I'm not that damn old. Don't speak about it on a live. This a TV show. Put your head down, baby.
We kept making Super 8 films.
It's a Netflix TV show.
Hey, what are you
And
doing?
after Apocalypse, Super 8's got way darker.
A lot of murder in you.
Yeah.
Listen, hey, Dominic. This is a Netflix TV show, Charlie Sheen's documentary about his life and all this crazy stuff he did, all these drugs he did,
Duplicating, emulating what Dad
and how he would be on set filming a movie with his nose bleeding because he done snorted so much cocaine. And then he said, oh, my daddy used to be an actor too. And when my daddy was an actor, he would be killed in all of his acting roles. And that hurt me to watch my daddy die. Watching my daddy die on film over and over again, over and over again. I just kept watching my daddy die on film, even though he was acting. Listen, I don't know. That hurt you that bad to see your daddy die that you had to do all that drugs. You had to do all them drugs. Your daddy ain't even dead though. He's sitting right there next to you.
I know whose dog that is. And I know what you did to my little brother.
I'm doing nothing, Dad.
All right, boy, sit up.
Listen, so it's a little boring. I mean, it's a lot boring.
You said yes. What you saying yes to? That he was watching his daddy die on TV and not hurt his feelings. But his daddy was right in the kitchen. Not dead, obviously. But you know, I ain't never watched my daddy die on TV, so I don't know. I can't speak on that. I can't speak on that. Maybe that did mess him up as a
A
child.
lot of the Super 8 film productions.
It probably did mess him up as a child. I don't know.
So that was really like the first drug. There was a lot of pot.
First he was smoking weed.
Drugs played a large role in it. You know, as they got older and started experimenting with everything.
It's weird. I drank the stuff and I can't seem to remember what happened next.
But yeah, and you know, just the typical booze habits that kids that age would have.
Smoking
I think
weed.
that first drink was a Mickey
It
Fig Mouth,
depends.
one of those. Yeah,
I don't know what you're talking about, Dominic. You gotta tell me what you're talking about.
You know, and then spent the next hour.
What depends?
And then I guess the normal person parks it and says, well, that didn't work out. The abnormal person says, all right, I'm feeling good enough to try that again, hopefully with a better result, you know?
And then you also have this other friend in Tony Todd who had nothing to do with that.
No, none of it. Tony Todd's one of my favorite people ever and one of my best friends in this lifetime. He's as
Tony
reliable
Todd.
and compassionate and loyal and committed as anyone could ever ask for, you know?
Well, every person needs a black friend, so I'm just kidding. But I think they do. What brought us together was our passion for sports. He's very competitive, I'm competitive.
Tony's never done a drug in his life. I think he's had a sip of
Tony
one
Todd.
drink.
Never had a drink with him. I'm just there for him because I'm a friend.
He's been the most consistent for sure.
In your whole
Yeah, he's touched every decade, every era, all of it, you know.
Bye-bye. He loved what he was doing. Man, it's crazy.
Motorcycle, so he's listening very carefully to stunt coordinator Nate Long. This is Emilio's first major acting job, but he is no newcomer to the movie business. As a matter of fact, if you look closely, he bears a good resemblance to Martin Sheen, one of Hollywood's most sought-after actors and star of Apocalypse Now. He uses his real name and keeps it a pretty good secret about his famous father.
Emilio and Dad had a huge fight about Emilio using Sheen or Estevez, and Dad wishing he'd stayed with Estevez to honor his heritage and all that good stuff. And then Emilio said, okay, all right, there is a better ring to Emilio and Estevez. Emilio Sheen didn't have a flow, you know. It was a house on fire for him, man. He had opportunities that none of us had even.
Let me know if y'all watch this Charlie Sheen show.
Emilio pulled the focus quite a lot.
Shoot, I'm trying to follow along, but I don't know if I
I don't know if that
can.
inspired Charlie, but I think he did see that maybe that's something that's available to me too.
He'd done legitimate work. He has this dough, and now he has freedom.
The prom king of Santa Monica High School. Please welcome Emilio Estevez.
I get it. I see all the girls. I see all the fun. I see all the, all the excitement.
I don't know, boo.
And that was intoxicating.
But we
I
almost
couldn't have
done.
been more jealous.
He was jealous of his brother.
That was a mess. I may hold the record. I have a attendance record of somewhere in the 30 percentile range, and a GPA, I think it's like a 1.2. Oh yeah.
Charlie.
How you get a GPA of 1.2?
Then,
That's wild. I ain't never heard nobody get no
you gotta get out and
1.2.
top.
You might as well have dropped
My
out.
parents just said, look, let me explore the acting thing. Let me audition this first summer. Let me just do this. Look what Emilio's doing. Look what all his friends are doing.
You dick!
And if it shits out, then I will figure out a way to, I'll get a GED or something, and I'll go on to a university and I'll study film. I'll become an editor or the cinematographer or a freaking something. And they were like, okay, deal. So it's Charlie Estevez all the way through
Charlie
high school.
Sheen need help.
But personal disappointments, school, girls. Yeah, it felt like it was time to clean that slate and start moving forward with a different identity. And so I went to Pop and I said, I think that someone needs to carry the name on, And I said, I think Charlie Sheen just rolls off the tongue a little easier. I can see it in the lights, Pop.
It's like this is a role for him, maybe. It's the role of Charlie Sheen.
They might as well let him act when you got a 1.0 in GPA.
My first summer of auditioning, I like to say that I got the first job that I went on.
Oh my God, I've got a blister on my feet.
Backtrack. Come on, Tina, do me a small favor.
What?
Put a lid on it. Tell us what that movie is and what.
It's shit.
This is crazy.
It's called Grizzly 2, The Predator. It's a sequel to Grizzly.
Grizzly 2.
And there's Laura Dern and George Clooney. That's pretty good company, right? We're in the first scene as these three campers, and they're dating, and I'm the third wheel guy. We shot the film in Budapest. Right before I left, I had this audition, and that was the biggest project in
Yes,
town.
Lord.
I fucked it up. It was a mess. And the director, he saw it differently, because he wanted to know how fast you could get into karate training. I'm like, okay, like for what? One of the hoodlums on that team of bad guys? And they're like, no, Danny, for the guy. I was offered the lead role in The Karate Kid. Yeah, so that was a big deal.
I'm surprised he remember all this, all them drugs he did. How you remember all this stuff?
And I said, well, I gotta go to Budapest. So I took it to my dad and I said, hey man, I got this thing and it's a life-changing opportunity. And so they want me in karate training like tomorrow. And he said, well, there's a problem here. You gave this other company your word. I said, yeah, but it's forgettable, and it's a thing, and it's like 8 lines. He said, none of that matters. You gave them your word. He said, your word in this business is gonna carry you a lot further than one big movie. So we politely told the Karate Kid people that if they could wait 2 weeks, I'm all in, and they said they couldn't. They said they couldn't. So that went away.
Ralph Macchio. Got it. Correct? Perfect.
And I had to sit with that.
But it was the Karate Kid in 1984 that turned Ralph Macchio into a star. It also turned him into a teen idol, gracing every cover of the top teen magazines.
And, you know, it goes like that sometimes. It sucked.
And in that moment, tell me about your mindset towards your dad.
I was pissed. I thought I was terribly misled.
So what if you're wrong? What if one day the sun didn't rise in the east, the birds didn't fly south for the winter, and for once your compass was off?
How about now?
Not one bit.
You feel
Not one bit, yeah. I mean, yeah, it went on to burn down the world and spawn, 5 sequels or whatever, and he probably made $20 million. However, I don't know that it necessarily opened up a lot of doors to maybe other stuff that he was passionate about. I don't want to say I dodged a bullet, maybe I dodged a back kick.
The interesting thing that happened
Put
right
your
around
head
that
down,
time,
son.
he becomes a dad.
There's probably a lot of people out there that don't even know that you have daughters or sons or that you're raising.
Yeah, no, I have 5. I'm sorry, I have 5 children and
You got 5 kids?
granddaughters.
Did you just say 10 granddaughters?
Will be 40 this year. Just, you know, at the time, I didn't feel like I was ready for that.
And that contribution was a whole other energy for our family. That now he had a daughter, and my niece's mom was also very young, and my parents.
This is crazy. I didn't know you had 5 kids. Did you
all
sleep,
right.
boo?
The stakes had risen to a place that I was ill-equipped to
You
navigate.
gotta put your head down,
Being
son, for
aware
me.
of that there was a lot of love in the room, there was a lot of support. And I'm thinking, it's time to focus my sights forward.
If there's one Hollywood director who has his creative finger on the pulse of today's high school kids, it's John Hughes. With 16 Candles and The Breakfast Club, he endeared himself to the teen crowd.
I think he's very honest, and that he doesn't try to show us for something that we're not.
One day, I get this strange phone call from Jennifer Grey, who was a friend.
I told you I was telling the truth, Daddy.
And she says, hey, I'm doing this big movie, which was Ferris Bueller's Day Off, right? We're filming in Long Beach. I think you should come down, and I've recommended you to John Hughes. It's only one
Put your
scene or
head
2
down,
scenes,
son.
but they're both pretty memorable. They're both with me. I'm like, well, what is it? Who is this guy? What's the scene? She's like, don't worry about it. Just read it, prepare as best as you can, and then get your ass down there. So Ramon was going through this punk rock phase, right? He had this leather jacket that I wanted to borrow. He was a smoker at the time, so I dug into his ashtray and darkened my eyes with this cigarette ash. Jennifer greets me, and Matthew Broderick comes out of his trailer, and she introduces us just at a distance. So it's literally Hughes now walking across the parking lot. And I got the sides, I got the jacket, I got the thing, I got the hair going on. Like, I said, pleasure to meet you, Mr. Hughes. And it's like, wow, look at you look great, kid. We'll see you next week. I'm like, yeah, see you next week. Jennifer's like, good job, man. I'm like, what the fuck did I do? All I did was get out of my car, right? So I got this gig, but this other opportunity arises. And it's kind of just dropped in our laps.
Martin and Charlie Sheen are going to take on the great Michael Jordan, the great basketball player.
Dad's publicist was tight with Dick Van Patten. Dick was hosting this sports-themed show called War of the Stars.
What hurts?
Pitted actors against athletes.
Do you have any tactics? Just primarily to score, if at all possible.
So the day of this event, then I've got the sides. I said, Dad, can we work on the scene in the limo on the way down to playing Michael Jordan? He says, yeah. Okay, kid, what do you got?
So you're pissed off because he ditches and doesn't get caught, is that it?
So we read it once.
You want to spend a little more time dealing with yourself, a little less time worrying about what your brother does.
He says, okay, all right, you got it. I'm like, yeah, but I don't know it. And he says, no. Exactly what you just did with it is what you need to do with it when you film it. I said, but I did nothing. He says, exactly.
It's your acting day. It's all for real.
Oh, what?
It's in a high school gymnasium. The bleachers are filled with kids that go to that school. The competition. It was broken down into 3 sections, and it's free throws, it's a game of horse, and it's a 2-on-1. Dad and I can both shoot free throws. We're not worried about that, right? We're good from the strike. The horse game, we figured that's him. We don't have a shot there. He's gonna do things we've never seen before, right? But 2-on-1. He cannot guard 2 people at the same time. We gotta spread the floor a little bit. We gotta come together and show this dude what we're made of. I missed the first shot. But the universe that day had some give.
Right on. 2 for 3 for Charlie Sheen. The young girls here really like Charlie. And he's putting on a good show for them.
And then I proceed to hit 8 more.
Perfect.
I guess the detail that I omitted is that he had to shoot with his eyes closed. But come on, I mean, you gotta, introduce handicaps.
He needs just 1 more. Charlie Sheen defeat Michael Jordan and Carl Sheen to take a 1-0 lead in their 3-contest match.
They talking about the school closed tomorrow. And it's Sunday.
And as though he's shooting a free
Why
throw.
would they text and say school closed tomorrow? Tomorrow's Sunday.
Damn
We're
it.
not on school Monday. Mom. They didn't say Monday, they said tomorrow.
Nails
What's
it. That was
today?
that moment when you
Today's
know
Saturday.
there's something bigger than us in the mix here.
Ollie with the rebound. Out to Martin. Baseline left to Charlie. It's good. And look at Charlie Sheen. Is it ever happening? That's it, folks. The Sheens are victorious. 10-5 is the final score.
It's like trying to process.
I don't know why they be coming on my live commenting
Being defended by
this
Michael Jordan.
craziness.
The whole ride back home, I felt like a magic carpet. It was intensely surreal. And the story with Michael does not end there. He becomes a bit of a through line. Now
He was playing basketball with Michael Jordan.
My big cameo in Ferris Bueller's Day Off. And the night before, I'm trying to figure out who this guy is. He seems like he's from the other side of the tracks. So I'm gonna stay up late. I just figure if I show up looking tired, that's gonna be an asset.
I know what's wrong. I just want to hear you say it.
There was no booze, there was no dope, there was nothing involved in that night preparing for this.
You want to spend a little more time dealing with yourself, a little less time worrying about what your brother does.
This was just purely organic method approach, I need to look tired, so I'm gonna be tired. My call time down there was like 6 a.m. and I set my alarm for 4:30. I was gonna leave at 5, give myself an hour. And I did that stupid thing when the alarm went off and I was like, I'll just grab that extra 10 minutes. And that extra 10 minutes turned into an extra hour and a half. And the next time I saw the clock, it was 6:30 and I'm in a fucking panic. So, there were no cell phones. You couldn't really let anybody know. So they're all down there like, what happened to dude? I finally get down there. It's probably like 7:15. And there's Jennifer Grey, man. And she is pacing. She's back and forth. And I pull up and I kind of get out of my car and sheepishly approach her. He's like, he fucking lays into me, man. What is wrong with you? I go out on a fucking limb to create this opportunity for you, and you do this. So I go through makeup, I go through wardrobe, and I finally get to the set, and I'm expecting a dressing down from him as well. And he looks at me, he says, okay, good, you're here. Let's get started.
Did that give you any kind of like, well, I can do this and get away with it?
Maybe subconsciously. And so we rehearsed it a couple times, and then he just started rolling camera.
Action.
I got very little direction that day. And then I had this thing where I used to crack my knuckles. He had a couple cameras on the scene, and his guy drifted down to that, and that's in the movie. I think I came close to honoring what Dad recommended to the approach to the scene.
So you're pissed off because he ditched you for is that it?
Basically.
Basically. The problem is you.
Excuse me?
Excuse you. You ought to spend a little more time dealing with yourself, a little less time worrying about what your brother does.
And that scene turned into a thing that I couldn't have possibly anticipated, expected, or
He was just lucky.
You ever held another job before? Yeah, it's just so trash in the city. Lost that one. I won't be here for him.
I think if you look at Charlie's movies, there's been kind of a connecting thread to thematics and environments that were the movies they grew up watching their father shoot.
Ferris Bueller is running now. It is so funny. I wait for that scene when you come on. It is the best thing in the film.
Thank you.
It's so funny.
I don't know about that, but I appreciate that. Thank you.
Nobody loved the movie overall, but this one lady in particular, I can't remember her name, but at the very end of the review, she says something like, special attention needs to be made for Charlie Sheen in his one scene. And then her one line was, he smolders. No joke. I thought, huh. Now I'm on screen for, I don't know, 3 minutes, 4, and the whole world suddenly goes, he's the fucking guy. And imagine what that did to my head.
I remember I had no awareness that Charlie was developing such a career. And then I was at one of these family holidays at my parents' house, and there was Charlie, a foot taller, chiseled jaw. He looked like a baby version of George Washington when he was a kid, you know, a little big, you know, face. And here he was, this handsome, tall young man who was starring in movies. And I thought, wow, isn't it great? You know, see from someone you knew in childhood, finding a big zone of expression and having so much to offer.
You're about 21, right?
I am 21.
So people your age, do they know much about Vietnam in your own experience?
Yeah, to a certain extent, what they teach you in history in high school.
I had auditioned for Platoon, and it was a train wreck. And then Platoon was greenlit shortly after that, and Emilio was going to be playing the lead role. And then they lost their financing, and the director, Oliver Stone, decided just to put the brakes on for a minute. Then it came back around, and that's when Oliver asked me to come back and do a second audition.
Did you have a moment with your brother about this?
It's just the way things had to go. It's the way,
Little smirk on your face. There's something here like
it's the way things had to go.
Do you have a sibling rivalry? As far as film competition, I think that's all. That's just a waste of time because we're not up for the same parts. We don't play the same types.
You were on the set when your dad was shooting Apocalypse Now, and was this similar?
I was witnessing this Coppola-esque $40 million production as an 11-year-old. And now going back 10 years later to do Platoon, like my version, it was kind of scary. It was like a strange symbolic homecoming for me.
During that shoot, I was presented with a contract written on a napkin in the Philippine jungle from Oliver Stone to commit to Wall Street. And I said, okay, I know what Wall Street is. What's the movie about? And he said, it's the story of a young trader seduced by the promise of quick gains. I'm like, all right, that sounds pretty cool.
Look, Dixon, relax. It's not illegal to buy stock or to be accurate, and it's not all that unusual to be spot checked on a big buy. Just tell them that you did your homework and you thought the stock was a sound investment.
The nominees for Best Picture are Platoon.
I was in New York filming Wall Street, watching Platoon up for Best Picture, you know, on a Sunday night.
And the winner is
There's before Platoon and there's after Platoon.
Platoon.
I mean, Best Picture, it's funny. You know, you're just like,
Yeah, it kind of sets the stage.
You know who he is. Charlie Sheen.
Just indescribable opportunities.
The place goes crazy for you, don't they?
It's a little embarrassing.
He just became a mega superstar.
It's Charlie Sheen, man. Hugest star in the world.
I was on a level that couldn't be touched. One night, I decided to head out on the town with a few of my mates, and we catch wind of this party in West Hollywood, right? We get the address, and we get there. I think it's the right spot. You know, everything was really dark and back alley-ish. And I see a guy. He's talking to this really cute girl. And he keeps saying to the girl, what do you think of my watch? How do you like my watch? And I recognize the voice, right? And I'm like, Nick?
I lost my hand!
Hey, Boo. We got some dancing to do.
Nick puts cake.
I admired how he's not interested in anybody's opinion. He's not looking for anyone's approval. Our friendship. That's the symbolic springboard into the next chapter of complete and total chaos. We bonded in a way
Nicolas
that was about the
Cage.
party. It was about the excitement. It was also about respect for each other. But mostly the party. Snorting cocaine and tons of booze. Poppers, ecstasy.
That's great.
Just the menu was filled with options. Our gang, we got the tattoos, we got the jackets. We'd go at 100 miles an hour. We were warped. And that's what kind of just...
Charlie Sheen, Hollywood's wildest bachelor. His scandalous women, his party nights out with the boys.
The circus that Charlie ran, Charlie was a different kind of life at the party.
We were like this runaway train. It's like we were all, something was missing, and by this connection, suddenly it wasn't.
And that's a lot of responsibility to everybody's American night.
We wound up on an airplane to San Francisco. Everybody was high as shit. Then it happened. Nick got a hold of the intercom handset. There was no warm-up. He launched into...
This is your captain speaking. I'm not feeling well. I'm losing control of the aircraft.
And we heard this, and I knew we were instantly in shit city. He had taken it to a place, whatever his intentions were, that just were wildly inappropriate. And you can hear people screaming and demanding information from the flight crew. You can't. Good Lord.
No. And then when we landed, the pilot came out and he said, quote, not cool, not cool, end quote.
So we were in big trouble, man.
At which point the door to the aircraft whooshed open like a nuclear gateway to a bank vault to reveal 6 fully armed police officers.
Oh, buddy.
And What Nick didn't know is that I had over an ounce of cocaine taped to the inside of my leg, and standing there sweating and really concerned about what's going to happen next. One of the guys was a big enough fan of mine, big enough fan of Nick's, and he just decided to, make sure this doesn't happen again, young man. And we got through.
Yet another experience of the perks of the job.
I guess. Yeah. I think anybody else, that would have been,
Charlie always managed to walk a tightrope. You wanted to like him because he was really charming and smart and terrific at what he does as an actor. But also, there were incidents that you were like, wait, what happened?
This Charlie Sheen shit is out of control.
Charlie Sheen and Kelly Preston seem to be a nice couple. Each is a successful, attractive actor. Each is upset now.
Kelly
about
Preston.
stories circulating since Kelly suffered a gunshot wound earlier this month.
There's nothing better than talking directly to the
She
source.
gets shot.
That's exactly what we did.
First of all, we're glad you're okay.
Thank you.
Can we just go over, because we've got some details we don't want to know what
The truth is, it was a complete accident. It fell, it went off.
Then Kelly said at the time, oh no, that was an accident. So there's this part of you that goes, okay, there's always this tightrope of, I don't know the whole story. Is he the guy who he appears to me to be, or is there some much darker thing going on?